Leadership, a word that is more than just a simple task. To be a leader is not achieved solely by being appointed as the head of an institution. Leadership is a challenge, and the Inter-European Division is working to improve its impact.
At EUD, we have realized that many of our leaders have been trained to be pastors. But during that training, they didn't receive any instruction or any training to be leaders. And this is the reason why we have been thinking on how we can improve the situation.
For years, each department has been engaged in organizing training courses to empower leaders in various sectors: communication, deaf, health, children, youth, personal ministries, women, etc.
A leadership is not something that can be taught theoretically. So I think the best way to teach the young generation leadership is by coaching them, is by doing and learning, and probably the best way is to assign young leaders next to more experienced ones in order to coach them.
The Inter-European Division systematically organizes a leadership training during the year-end executive committees. These trainings are focused on developing a better leadership in pastoral and administration settings. In our ecclesiastical context, there are two sectors mainly oriented to implement a competent leadership.
So a lot of our young students do come to our high schools, to the universities, to study theology because they had a call. And they're excited to go to the church and bring in their gifts and bringing people to Jesus. But at the end, if people do not burn anymore when they come into the church setting, the church will recognize that. And very often they complain and say, the young people are there, they know a lot of theology, but they don't know how to lead people, how to lead the young people, how to work together in teams. And so we need an education that is helping our young students, our young people, as they start in the ministry, to know how I work as a leader, effective with all to others as with the team.
About 5 years ago, a survey was conducted in the German area of the Inter-European Division to understand how leadership is executed at the pastoral and administrative levels. It was Thomas Giuraka, an Austrian pastor and candidate for a PhD in leadership, who conducted the survey.
Very often we have the idea that leadership is a position and that everything a positional leader does is leadership, but it is not. You can't be a positional leader without leading at all. Leadership means energizing a system for change. It needs a vision that is based on our Adventist mission. It needs a conscious effort of aligning the people I'm leading and watching over the change process, that it is not running down. Today, one of the major things we need is adaptive leaders. By that I mean leaders who can take us through this time and help the church adapt to the new time in which we are living.
In order to better develop the leadership concept in the inter-European context, a meeting with Thomas Giuraka has been organized.
The meeting that we organized here at the division has to be seen in a broader context. Pastor Thomas Giuraka has made a PhD in leadership, and together with him we are putting in place a program to train our leaders in the different unions. And today we discussed how we are going to implement it in time and also in cooperation with the local unions.
But when does the leadership training process start?
It is never too early. I think the best time is today.
In order to improve pastor, elders and administrative leadership teams, it would be possible to move away from training workshops. They usually result in very little knowledge transfer, and we have to create learning communities where learning really happens.
More than ever, the Adventist Church in the Inter-European Division is focusing on the formation of a leadership adapted to a church that is constantly growing in its needs.